Let's go to the first question here. Could you elaborate on the key turning points in your career that led you from being a software developer to becoming a CTO?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. So, yeah, definitely. So, my maths was very strong. So, naturally, I got into engineering when I did my high school. And in engineering as well, there are a few key tenets. And I think these are some of the kind of mantras that has helped me. I truly believe and I adhere to them even now, right? So the first one is, be it in college, where in the university I actually graduated getting the first rank of the university, but it's more about insisting on the highest standards, I think. So be it in, I do believe that wherever you are, you should bloom there and rather not waste time looking at some other picture or some other story. So if you want to be the engineer, you be the best engineer. And so there is this drive within me to become always the numero, which means I always like to be the best in my field. And there are a few things that you have to do for it, which is you want to be ahead of the curve, you want to know what's happening, you want to keep yourself up to date with in your field of interest, and that's what I've been doing, right? So when I joined as a software engineer, primarily even then or even now, I would like to have a certain amount of depth of what is happening, right? Even though it's not required in my level. So but I do not feel complete if I do not know what's happening and I keep my hands dirty. It's not that I micromanage my team or I would like to keep interfering, but silently I really want to understand the depths of what's happening. So I think that's one of my core mantras in how I actually grew up the ladder. The second one, I think I learned it a little bit differently and through after some time I should say, is about communication. And it's not about doing the hard work, right? Like I was talking about, to do the hard work and obviously do I mean, it needs to you need to be very passionate about it, you need to like it, and you should not feel it as a burden. Yeah, but the second important thing is you need to communicate what you're doing, because I know a lot of software engineers are so good in what they do, but they just bury their head like an ostrich, right? And their communication skills are not great. So one of the reasons why I'm participating in this interview is i want to I want to bring some of the facts that being a very having a very humble beginning, how you can really, like people say, break the glass ceiling. And one of the major pillars for that is communication. Be visible, be fearless. There's nothing you're going to lose, right? Because if you have the content and if you are really having the integrity in what you want to say, it doesn't matter. So, because the world, I don't know if you have a question on it, it's about inclusivity and diversity, and of course, being a woman, there are lots of things, there are lots of problems around it, and those are real. It's not hype, it's true. These exist, these issues exist. But having said that, having that courage and the confidence and communicating well. Communicating means, I'm not saying you need to know English. No, please don't understand it as, oh, you need to be articulate. I'm not very articulate. But you need to not fear in talking about whatever you want to say. If there is a meeting of, let's say, 10 male members and you are the only female member, it doesn't matter. If you have a good point to say, speak up, right? So I think that is the second mantra from my end, which has helped me to grow up my ladder. And of course, you do have people who want to help you. The world is a very good world. It wants to help people who want to really do good things. So the crux is, we need to also keep looking out for reaching out, build a network, both personally and professionally, because professionally, you cannot prosper professionally if you're not happy personally as well. And being a woman becomes a little bit more difficult, right? Because and of course, the father also takes care of the kids. But what I mean is, there's a lot of more focus on child welfare. You're taking care of your kids, and so how do you really come up with a balance? Yeah, so this networking, what I'm talking about, is both personal life and professional life. And I have seen a lot of software engineers A lot of, even if they're not software engineers, they try to do everything themselves. They're not vocal about the problems they have. Whereas I can give a lot of examples where I have taken the help of neighbors, I've taken the help of my relatives. I just reach out and people help. The world is really kind. They help you. I have left my son whenever I go to meetings in my neighbor's house. And that comes out only if you have a good network and you reach out for help. And so that's important, that you have a good network. You speak up, you're there when they need you, and basically not shut yourself to your problems, but really be vocal about it. Yes. So that's the third point. Reach out to people when you want help. Help them as well when you have an opportunity that you can help. Now that my kids are grown, I'm so happy. I keep thinking back and I like, yeah, I need to help others. I need to help people who are looking out for help. And the other, I think, very important is to learn and to continuously learn and to unlearn and learn. So every new technology wave that's coming forces you sometimes to unlearn and then relearn. So my mantra is, and everywhere, I don't know if I have, this is different, but my mantra is actually to learn until die, which means keep learning every day. Every day when you sleep, you just think, what did I learn today? And it does not have to be about your area of work, but the world is so vast. There's so much to learn. And if you learn about fluid dynamics, you can still apply it into software engineering. Yeah. An architect is an architect. If you can do something in music, you can definitely apply those principles back when you're doing a technology architecture. These are all very related. Yeah. So that's I think, a very strong pillar where, of course, we need to keep learning and we need to keep applying what we learn. And obviously, some of the core values are about integrity, and I don't have to talk about it. I've never compromised, even if it means that you have to take some strong steps and you may have to let go of a few things. There are a few core principles, right? So these core principles we don't have to compromise. What I mean is, you may get to see fraud, you may get to see people cheating. You don't have to compromise, or even if it's your higher up or whatever, you just have to be vocal about it. And that has costed my a lot of things for me, but I've never compromised. And I feel if I have grown from a software engineer to a chief technology officer, I do think these things have helped me, because sometimes you doubt yourself. When you lose for a short period of time, you may lose your whatever position, but it doesn't matter. The world is big, so you will regain it. So these were the few kind of mantras that I have used to become a to go up my ladder. Yeah.
Thank you